a two-way traffic. You must have something you want to give. Your supervisor has something to give you, definitely. But you must first of all have something to give. Another thing is that your communication skills should be excellent. You must have the capacity, to be able to say something and communicate it well and not mean another thing. If you are not sure, you'll be guided. But trust me, supervisors like students, like supervisees who know what they are doing, who are able to deliver on projects, who are able to deliver on goals. If you have a reason why you are not meeting up with that target, you are speaking up. Another thing I'll say about the supervisor-supervisee relationship is that you need to work on your negotiation skills. A lot of time, your supervisor is thinking in a particular direction, and your idea is beaming in another direction. Your negotiation skills will come to play to say that this is really what I want to do. I mean, like, this is the kind of support you require to get this done. Otherwise, you may end up leaving your original research idea and be following something you may not be interested or passionate about. So your communication skills must be top notch. You must be able to manage time very well. I remember that as a postgraduate student, my supervisor had to tell me at a point, Professor Olajumoke, she told me that I should go and create a timeline of how I want to do my work. In my mind, I was like, will she respect the timeline? Is she not the one to determine what I do, or if I make the progress? But that told me, do you know what that singular thing told me when I went to create a timeline that we also call the Gantt charts? And we have templates of that in the research workbook, how to prepare for your supervisor's meeting, how to create a supervisory agenda. All of these are in the workbook. We have templates that has been designed. When that timeline was created, do you know the message it sent to my head? It said, Jumoke, you can really control your work. We are not saying that she cannot shift your timeline. She can shift your timeline, but you can control it. It means that if you know all the things that need to be done and you tell her, Ma, I am doing this and I have done it, what will stop you from doing the next thing? If you didn't do it well, you will be told you didn't do it well. If you need more time, you will request for more time. It's not for you to just go and they'll be looking for you and they don't know what you are doing and they don't know where you are at in your project. So it's a very special relationship that I'm going to encourage all of us, even people that will watch it after now. Is a special relationship that I would advise that you guide properly. Right. Don't mess it up, because you will still need to come back to it. You will still need to come back to it.
I can see you want to you still have more information on that, but due to time constraint, we might not be able to go deeply. So now, what are the easy ways for someone that want to choose, in choosing a research topic? What are the easy guidelines, ways to choose the research topic?
Let me just quickly crack this joke. When I see some groups, some online groups, you just see, can somebody give me research topic? I used to wonder, you must be a witch. This person, or you expect that all of us on this platform are witches. How do they, But I don't know. It works for some people. I just don't know. Give me topic. I know selecting a topic is usually difficult sometimes at the beginning. But for instance, in this workbook, we've talked about 10 different interesting and creative methods that can help you easily come up with something that you're interested in. And I always encourage people, choosing your research topic is research. Your research actually started before you got topic. If you do not allow your research to start before you pick your topic, then it's a lie. You are just doing your own thing. Choosing your topic is research. One of the ways, I'll just go through some of them. One is observation. You need to be very observant. In healthcare, you have opportunity to observe. You move around like this is observation. You do one procedure is observation. You communicate with somebody. In fact, when you don't communicate and you're just walking on the corridors in the hospital, for instance, or you do something, you go for a community outreach, whatever you do, you should observe. Observe what is happening. Observe what is not happening. Remember what I said about the quote from Russell Baker, that research is a scientific activity that is dedicated to finding out why the grass is green. And I twisted it to say, why the grass is not green. You may be seeing things that, you may be seeing some things that should happen normally in a setting, for instance. But when some things that are supposed to happen are not happening, you should ask questions. And research is about questions, is about problems. If you don't have any question to ask, you have no business doing research. Another way is reflecting on your experience. We don't do that too well in this part of the world, Africa. We don't reflect on our experience. We take our experience, we use it anyhow, and we repeat it over the years. It should not be like that. We should take our experience and reflect on it. That's what some of these developed nations do. And it's part of their training for the students. They tell the students to reflect on the practice. As a student, you're already reflecting. How much more when you become a professional? It means that you will easily spot when something goes wrong.
Okay.
You easily spot when something goes wrong. Someone is making me laugh here. Another thing you can do is okay, let's focus. We are focusing. We are doing so we have to focus.
Exactly.
All right, another easy way. I talked about observing, I talked about reflecting on your experience. Another way that can easily help you to come up with a topic. So now let me stop using the word topic. I will say coming up with an idea. Remember, we said that the research cycle always starts with an idea. Forget topic, my brother, my sister. Forget topic. It is an idea you need. If you say, I don't have research topic, it's idea you lack. You lack idea. So we're saying that the things that can stimulate your interest and idea, observing, reflecting on your experience. Another one is discussion. So because I teach students, I find out that this generation, don't let me now even talk about my students. Let me just say, our generation, yes, we are smart, we know how to, discuss and all of that, but we need to do more of intellectual discussions. Intellectual discussion. When you are having your intellectual discussion, some things will pop up. You will be noticing gaps. You will say, that's why this is not happening the way it should happen. So discussion is a very good one, but I would even say intellectual discussions. Do you know that when you are speaking with the clients at anywhere and you are discussing, you can pick up something, you can decide to say, oh, how do, communication skills, maybe cancer patients would love to be communicated to in this way compared to pediatrics, or even cancer patients, whether pediatric or geriatrics, need to be communicated to in a certain way. So when you are discussing and you see these things, you say, let me do a research around it. Another one is reading. That one, we don't talk about it a lot. You want to find research topic, go and read. We are lazy bunch of people everywhere.
Because there is social media now, internet.
Okay, so when I say read, you should read print, you should read online, offline, anyhow you can gulp anything down. Read. You don't have to start with the big textbook. You don't have to start with the Pollitt and Beck. You don't have to start with all those big ones. Start with blogs, discussion forums, Twitter, Facebook. Just come, as we are gisting like this, be here. Something will be popping in your head, but people just want to gist, and you see, and those things don't bring about innovation. You need to read around an innovation you are thinking about. Reading is very important. Because even when you get that idea, that we say research starts with, you need to read to refine the idea. A lot of times we choose the topic, but we still need to refine it. Sometimes you choose it and the thing is big, like a mountain before you. But when you read, yes, and the person is confused, it happens to all of us. There's no level that it doesn't happen to. But when you read, You understand that area in bits and sizes, and you're able to say, wow, out of this big mountain, I think I would like to focus on just one small area. And don't feel that because you're focusing on a small area, oh, it doesn't mean that you are doing good research. Research is not about focusing on 10 things. It's about focusing on one thing. And if you have capacity to do 2, please add it on. If you have capacity to do 3 things in one research, add it on. But you are just good to go if you start with one thing. So research topic is not something that you come to a show like this and they give you. Okay. You discuss, you read, you reflect, and all of that. So many more methods.
Thank you. Yeah, I can see you want to be dishing it out one after the other, but due to time constraint. Now, actually, you also mentioned something very attractive here, which is you just mentioned it briefly. That's research question. Can you tell us exactly what a research question means and why do we really need a research question?
Okay, so I'm not going to say so much on research question because the essence of any research is because of the question you are interested in. You are curious about a question. Or let me put it this way, there was a problem. You identified a problem. You identified a gap, maybe in education, in practice, in whatever. You identify a gap or a problem, then you raise a question about it. So that's research question. So I'm not going to give you the definition of research question is no. That's not what we are here to do. And that's not what research is about. That's not what research is about. Research questions are those things that are of curiosity to you, those things that are of paramount interest to you, those things that you are willing to conduct a research about, those things that you are going to commit 9 months or 10 months or 1 year of your life to do. It may be 1, it may be 2, it may be 3. I want to quickly tell us something again about research question. For the purpose of this show, let's talk about the checklist. There's a checklist for us to know if you have a right research question, if your research question is correct, or no. If you have a correct research question, 1, is the question right for me? There are some questions that you will be asking that it may not apply well to me. Maybe because of my interest, my passion, my background. I tilt more towards women's health, midwifery, care of the childbearing family, maternal health, like that. So those are the kind of questions, questions in that space is what I am interested in. So when you give me a question on, I know you are interested in home care. Am I correct?
Of course.
So home care nursing or home care, I might struggle. I personally might struggle. Or I may start it and my fire goes out in the middle. Because it's not an area, it's not strong for me. I may not be patient to get to the end of that question. And don't forget, research is a cycle. It's not a sprint race. You just like that, you are there. No. So the first thing is the question right for me? You should know a question that is right for you. 2, is the question right for the field? I can't be interested in asking a question in women's health, maternal health, or childbearing family. I will now be asking a question that is more relevant to home care. My question must provide answers that would improve, develop, refine the knowledge in that field. So your questions must be right for the field. Talking about research question. The third checklist, and we have it in the workbook, is the question well articulated? There are sometimes you ask question and you have turned it upside down. Even you that you are asking the question, you're already confused.
Yeah.
You are already confused. So let me just pick, for instance, what is the level of knowledge of adolescents? Sorry, I'm trying to bring up a question in my head now. What is the level of knowledge of nurses about hand hygiene? Sorry, knowledge of hand hygiene among nurses. Let me just pick that, for instance. What is the level of knowledge of hand hygiene among nurses? And you see, if that question, if you don't articulate it well, it can mean plenty different things. So I repeat that question again. What is the level of knowledge of hand hygiene among nurses? So Mr. Adams, can you please explain to me what's the question I'm asking? I'm the one asking the question, and I've said it to you. Please tell me, what am I interested in? Let me take the question again. The question says, what is the level? I hope I'm not putting my guest.
No. We can No. That is quite interesting. Yes. That is quite interesting. Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So let me take the question for the last time. What is the level of knowledge of hand hygiene among nurses? What do you think I'm asking? What do you think
I think the question there is trying to, identify the understanding of nurses on maybe the hand hygiene. Now, in this particular question, I want to believe that there are a lot of things that are embedded in it. How to wash hand properly, the techniques, and some other things like that. Personally, I don't know whether that is what you meant.
So, it's because you know why? You are not going to struggle with that response. You are not going to struggle with it because I articulated it correctly. I didn't say it in a way that it will mean three things. You now say, wait, which one are you thinking about? Is it this? Is it this? Is it this?
Yeah.
That's a good research question. A good research question is well articulated. The first thing is that, is it right for me? 2, is it right for the field? Thirdly, is it well articulated? 4th, is it doable? Having articulated it well, is it doable? Can you do it?
Please don't let us go into detail. Please.
Then the last one, that doability is not whether you have the answer. You don't have to have the answer. That's why you're doing the research. Doability speaks to so many things. Do you have the time? Do you have the resources? Do you have the techniques? Do you have the skill? Do you have everything? Then the last one, which is also very important, that is stemming from the last question you asked, is, does the question get the approval of those in the field?
Okay.
There must be that thing, so that by the time you finish getting your answer to that question and you want to publish that research, it will look like, yes, you have something to add. You understand? Does it get the approval of experts in that field? Where has knowledge gotten to on that area, in the field? Not that your own question is asking something that has been asked 32 years ago, and you still want to be asking that question now in the way it was asked 32 years ago. There must be a way that they are asking it now, that everybody would know that, oh, you are trying to add to the body of knowledge. Everybody likes to say the essence of doing this thing is that they want to add to the body of knowledge. Is it the body of knowledge in 2020, or the body of knowledge in when my mother gave back to me? Or
thank you. You actually made me remember too. that is like the hymn or something, or like an anthem to add to the existing knowledge of body, or what you do.
When they don't even know it, they're
adding. Thank you. Anyway, my viewers and wherever you are watching us around the world, this is one of the interesting things about this review Hangout. And that is why I said it in the other video that I did maybe a few minutes ago, that this particular Hangout, book review Hangout, is not just about promoting an individual, but these are the things that even if she paid for a promotion on a website, you're not going to get all this information. You just say, you open the first page, or the page of that website, let me say like maybe Amazon, then you just say it will just pop up, and that is all. But this particular review Hangout, you will see the author and see the mission and vision the author is carrying out, for audience to see that this is what this book is all about. This is what the book entails, and this is what you should know about the book. And that is why thank you for coming up on the show. And we can see that, my viewers, every time I tell you she comes on the show, it's as if we should just continue. because there are more to learn. There are more to acquire. She dished out to us every time. Thank you for coming up. And but before we end the show, that will take us to the last part. I mean, of the last question. Now that we've talked about this, can you just tell us just briefly with what we discussed last week about the book? What is the current? The current situation about the book? And with the current development about the book, please.
Okay. Yeah, we promise that we'll be giving updates. So we have a page on social media, on Facebook, Research Resource Hub, and on Instagram, the Research Resource Hub. So please go there. Just it's part of your support for us and for me, So just click the like. He was asking me a question that how do you join Research Resource Hub? I was like, just click. I mean, like you are here. If you are watching me, you are already part of us. Okay. So the book will still be released middle November. That is, from middle 16th of November, copies will be available of the for the book. And I'm very sure that distribution will be available nationwide. But of course, we'll start with Lagos, Nigeria. It's going to be on Amazon. And of course, all these updates are the things we're going to put on our Research Resource Hub page. So we are releasing constant update them. Even beyond this session we are having, we've been dropping excerpts from the book on the Research Resource Hub page like every other day. So you can read about it. You can share your comments. You can like them. We would respond to you if you even ask us a question.
Thank you. That will take us to the end of the show for today. We want to kindly apologize once again for all the challenges and inconveniences, and we are supposed to have come up earlier than this, but due to network problems, we couldn't. I'm sorry, and thank you for bearing with us. My guest, I would like to appreciate you very well as well, because I know very well that you had a hard tight schedule, but you still accepted to wait behind so that we can have this discussion. Thank you for bearing with me, and thank you for being part of the show. To all my viewers around the world, thank you for being part of the show for today. Don't forget for the previous event, that the show that took place, you can still access it on the YouTube page. And for those of my viewers that due to one reason or the other, they couldn't wait behind because we are coming behind the schedule, you still have access to the extract, to the full video. As time goes on, we are going to have it on the page and it's going to be released. And don't forget, we are still coming up again. My guest, are you confirming that we still have another session?
Yeah. We're going to the last one next, and it's going to be hot.
Oh goodness, you can hear that from that.
People can come in with their questions before the last one, and we can even make it a Q&A. But otherwise, we already have what we planned for the last
platform. Okay. Thank you very much. So the last show is dedicated to all of you. You have your time, send in your questions, and she's going to respond to all of it. And again, before we end the show, we are going to have just a 30 seconds silence. 30 seconds silence rather. Because this particular show is also dedicated to all people, to Nigerians that died as a result of police brutality and SARS. We are actually not, how do I put it? We are civilians just like them. And so we are citizens of the country. And so we feel like even whatever we are doing, we still have to appreciate the fact that things are going bad in our country, but this is part of our own little support for end SARS and police brutality and all the protests that is going around. Let's just have 30 seconds silence, please. Thank you, and thank you all of you, and God bless you all.
Thank you, Mr. Adams. I don't know. Thank you is not enough anymore, right?
Don't say it,
Thank you.
please. Let's keep it. Let's keep it, please. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Bye. Oh, I want to end it. Thank you, everyone. Oh, so because this is my first Facebook Live.